So in our agenda today, we'll start always with safety and the industrial reports, industrial PPI reports. Then we will move to the commercial department. Gilberto will be introducing the commercial topics. And then we'll move to the financial. Today, we only have two topics of approval for the board meeting, which is the 2024 results with the financial statements issued by our independent auditors and the dividend approval. And then we'll finalize with some other topics if there is time. I believe that will be. So speaking of safety, in this year we had only one accident in the month of January, which is accident without downtime. So we had no accident with downtime in the year of 2025. Last one was in 2024. And two small incidents of property incidents. So we have completed more than 140 days of accident without leave. In terms of industrial KPIs, in this listing line, we have reached it only in March, the target of 21.5 tons per hour in productivity. And in the other months, we have been suffering with some maintenance and some small breakdowns and also the mix of products from our customers. But we have been recovering this in this past 2 months, and also April seems to be a positive. And for the blanking line, in terms of productivity, we reached it in March lower than our budget, than our target expected on the budget, which is 8 tons per hour. We have been working on actions in our daily meeting. We have a lot of routine meetings to speak about this, and also the corporate is involved in this and supporting us with improvement actions. But in the month of March specifically, we will be speaking a little bit more later. We had a drop of volumes, and our main customers with heavier parts, they were stopped. So we had a lot of our production was affected by the mix of products of the material we had to produce in March. So in the year-to-date basis, in terms of parts per hour, we are above the target, but in terms of tons per hour, a little lower. So we are in 7.79. Over our target is 8 tons per hour. Okay. Gilberto, go on.
Yes, let me explain about commercial. In the commercial, I'm going to start with some data on the Brazilian market scenario for the first quarter of 2025 and trends. In general economic outlook, we have a GDP estimated growth of 2.4% in 2025, slowing down from 3.5% in 2024. About inflation, IPCA, projection of 4.2% to 5.4% for 2025, above the official target. About Selic rate, expected to remain at high levels, reaching up to 15% per year, impacting credit and investments. And the exchange rate, average dollar projected at 5.70 reals, with the possibility of exceeding 7 reals per dollar, influenced by global trade tensions. And about the strategic sectors, about automotive, production and sales recovered in the first quarter. In construction, we had moderate growth with limited public investment and tighter credit affecting new projects. In energy, progress in energy infrastructure projects with a focus on renewable sources. In infrastructure, investments in logistics, including waterways and railroads, such as the Transnordestina in northeast of Brazil, with significant contributions planned. And finally, agribusiness projected record harvest of 320 million tons, boosting exports, especially to China. And for the coming months, we will see economic slowdown economic growth is expected to moderate in the second half of the year due to the restrictive monetary policy and the challenging fiscal scenario. In exporting sectors, agribusiness and mining should continue to sustain growth, benefiting from external demand and a favorable exchange rate. And about the risks, global trade tensions, especially between US and China, could negatively affect Brazilian exports and investor confidence. And about the strategic sectors until December this year, in automotive, the outlook is for a slowdown in the second half of the year due to high interest rates and lower domestic demand. In construction, we will have a restricted credit should this restriction should limit expansion in construction. In energy, we see expansion and modernization of the energy metrics and private investments. In infrastructure, positive expectations for the second half of the year. Agribusiness, foreign demand drives the sector. So now let's see how our main clients, Nissan and Gestamp, fare in this 2025 scenario. First, regarding Nissan, the launch of the new Kicks, the new Nissan car model, the project named as P13C, that refers to new Kicks, was postponed from February to April. As a result, the first quarter was impacted by 15.8% below budget. However, in the second quarter, Nissan intends to recover the pace of production, already forecasting to be 16% above budget. And for the second half of the year, it expects further growth of 28.7%, resulting in 2025 this year, 90% above the budget that we built in December. Gestamp, on the other hand, was impacted at the beginning of the year with the recall of the Onix, the flagship car of GM. As a result, GM announced a 90 days layoff starting in February, 4 months. The first quarter ended 14.9% below budget. And as we can see here in this graphic, this will continue to reflect a drop for the rest of the year, ending 14% below the budget forecast for 2025.
Just let me make some comment concerning our forecast of our customers. This recovery, as we closed the forecast and the one that we reported to you and also to the corporate, we closed the forecast in the beginning of April, so we did not have the information of Nissan recovery. So as we are explaining right now, this information is new. We received during the month of April that they intend to recover the production for the rest of the year. So they are increasing their number of cars in over 10,000 cars. So you see a ramp up during the months of August, September, October, and if this really happens as they are forecasting, this is going to be very positive for us because it will mean an increase of volumes from our current customers, so Nissan, and also especially Yoroso, and also an increase of profitability. Unfortunately, this is not forecasted in our numbers of 3+9. Information arrives a bit later, but I must say this looks a very positive trend for us. So this is very good. Unfortunately for Gestamp, these numbers are not recoverable, so they're not recovering these volumes until the end of the year. So what we lost so far, and we will keep losing in the first semester, we will not recover in the second semester.
Any comments here? Can I go to industry? Okay, in the non-auto industry, the first quarter was good, although we continue to struggle to capture new customers. Okay, compared to the first quarter of last year, in sales revenue, 2025 was 73.5% higher than the first quarter of 2024, and in volume, 42% up on the same period last year. Fermator, a manufacturer of elevator systems, is the highlight of this year's positive results with a profitable and stable business. On the other hand, we have AMD, ArcelorMittal Distribution sales, remain well below expectations.
Gilberto, can I ask a question quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So total sales and the volume, first quarter 2025 was a higher record than first quarter of previous year. That is good to know. So how many percentage higher than the budget of first quarter of 2025?
We'll have more details in the next slides, but not really. I'm sorry, Gilberto. It is not over the budget in the first quarter. It's over the same amount from 2024, I think. But from the budget, we are still lower than expected.
Okay, I got it.
Speaking of new projects in auto, we started 2025 with the launch of Nissan's new Kicks, although the SOP is 2 months late. New Kicks is expected to sell well. The new Duster from Renault is due in June, supplied by Yoroso. For the second half of the year, we are expecting a facelift of the other model of Nissan, the currently Kicks, which will be called the Kicks Play. And also Renault's, we will have Renault's new Oroch that we will supply through Yoroso as well. For 2026, we plan to enter the supply of the Jeep from Stellantis for the first semester. And in the second semester, the new Kwid from Renault is coming. And 2027 and 2028, expecting to have new Honda models through Yoroso as well. These are the projects that are on our radar at the moment, and we are working to get more other models from Gestamp as well, from GM and other customers. And in the non-auto industry, we are working with the Mitsui sales department from São Paulo to get new customers. We are currently approaching the construction companies such as NME, Saint-Gobain, Kingspan, and Steel Corp. And in the solar segment, we have MTR. This first company on the list, Maxion, as you know, despite being in the automotive segment, is part of one of the developments of this collaboration, which is being monitored here in this list. But of course, we will separate automotive and non-auto industry. All these companies are at the quotation phase, and we had sent some commercial proposal. So they are in adjustment stage. I think, I don't know, Felix and Deborah, would you like to add any comments on these customers? We have, I think, some news this week.
Deborah, feel free to talk about the trips you did, please.
Okay, I'm sorry, my voice is not really good today. But for MTR, we had an update yesterday. The owner of MTR replied to Douglas, confirming that the price seems to be competitive and he is considering to have a trial lot. So it was a positive result, but he is analyzing the numbers and he should reply within next week because tomorrow is holiday in Brazil. For Maxion, I think that we didn't have any update so far. Yeah, and for Saint-Gobain, we was discussing with the Maggie, and I think that our strategy would be approaching Saint-Gobain suppliers, which are the steel frame fabricators in Brazil. So we are listing up those potential customers, and we should approach them.
Thank you, Deborah. We have this list as well regarding some business opportunities that have been mapped and that we mentioned in the strategic plan for the coming years. This 31 in red, we had the project to supply directly to Nissan Argentina, where it manufactures the Frontier pickup truck. However, last month, Nissan announced the EOP end of production for this model for December this year. As of January, the Argentina plant will no longer produce this model, which will be transferred to the Nissan Mexico plant. So as a result, unfortunately, we no longer have any way to supply this model in Brazil. So we have no choice but to close this file. About the other business, all of them is ongoing. We have the implementation of the JIT, just-in-time operation with materials from Usiminas, which will give us a considerable reduction in working capital, which reflects directly on our cash flow. For this operation, tests have been ongoing, waiting approval from Usiminas. About Nissan full service, we are negotiating with Nissan to resume the full service model, which will give us a higher profit margin. Today, we only supply Nissan with tolling, maquila in Portuguese, which was the only way for us to stop the generation and accumulation of ICMS tax credits in 2019. About this Nissan full service, Felix, can you comment something? We had some updates this week as well, please.
Yeah, of course. Yesterday, you just sent them a quotation looking for full service model of providing. The interest increased because they saw the opportunity to reduce costs related to the purchase and management of raw materials. As Gilberto already mentioned, today our business with them, directly to them, to Nissan, are only tolling due the taxes issues from the past. It will be a great opportunity for us to increase our margin and to take the model from Nissan to the other clients you have. That is our expertise to provide full service. Tomorrow is holiday in Brazil, but they are very interested, very excited to take the opportunity to bring the model to them. Probably next week we have more updating of this issue.
But this is going to be happen only when we can officialize the GIT with Usiminas, because otherwise it would represent for us a very risky working capital, since we're supposed to buy material in advance for Nissan. But if we make it happen in the same direction, the same maybe in this year, but maybe in the beginning of next year, the Nissan full service is going to be very positive for us. Of course, we are not going to be able to negotiate the same fees that we had in 2019 with the same negotiations from Furo Yasan. I think it's not going to be achievable, but in terms of the amount that we propose to them, it would represent around the 600, 500 reais per ton versus 260 to 109 that we have so far of added value. So this is going to be very good for us.
Sorry, Nicole, just clarification about JIT Usiminas. So I agree to your ideas that, we will think combination for services for Nissan and also JIT Usiminas. So sorry, I'm correctly understanding. You said some JIT Usiminas will start from next year or this year?
No. The GIT is going to happen this year. But
This year, right.
we are forecasting that Nissan is not going to agree this year because their decisions take some time. So we are expecting that this year we will enter with GIT. I believe in the second semester, in June, July, we are already be operating in the consignment process with Usiminas. And then for next year and the P02H project already in full service if they agree.
Okay, I got it. Thank you very much for explanation.
And then regarding Nissan stamping press, we are proposing to Nissan to transfer a small parts press process that is done inside Nissan to be processed at MEG. It's a process that is not very efficient for Nissan, but for MEG it would be a way of adding more value to the services we provided to Nissan. And finally, this last one, the manufacture of the new Jeep Avenger from Stellantis, which is scheduled to be manufactured at the Porto Real plant, the plant very close to MEG. It is a good opportunity to increase the business with Stellantis, but we have many things to check. We have to check if their SOP is keeping the same calendar. We have to check the schedule to the tests, to implementation of the tooling, and we have to check at MEG if any capex will be needed or not. So we have some things to.
We had an update this week. We spoke with Stellantis and the project, the vendor project. We're supposed to receive the start of the RFIQ, so the request for quotations in the beginning of next semester, and the tests to initiate in the beginning of 2026. So probably the SOP will be postponed to the middle of 2026. But we are still in the game. This is very good. Also, we are working with Stellantis in other actions because they are already demanding from us to evaluate opportunities with Usiminas. So they have some materials that are at Usiminas, Soluções Usiminas and Ferrolene, and they are bringing this material also to AMG, to MAG. We are already producing the material from ArcelorMittal. 100% of the volume that we have today is for ArcelorMittal, but we have this additional volume that we are bringing also from Usiminas. And if we are able to combine both of the volumes, this is going to be an increase of volume for Stellantis until the end of the year, and also very positive for us to receive the Jeep Avenger project. So this is the newest. Okay.
So the Stellantis have already confirmed to produce Jeep Avenger in Porto Real, the transfer from Beijing. So is this confirmed or no?
Yes, the last information that we have, yes, we have. We are scheduling an agenda with Stellantis in the month of May, and we're going to Minas Gerais, Gilberto and I and Felix, and we are trying to schedule with them to confirm with everything related to the project. So, but for now, the information that we have, yes, it's going to be produced in Porto Real plant.
That's good news. The second question is RFQ of. I'm not sure. So, the MAG is targeting some kind of external parts of blanking, or the treating both of processing. So I'm not sure. Blanking services.
I think we will be with the blanking material because they don't have other suppliers in the region that can produce these, and they are focusing on suppliers of the region. They have some materials that can be produced in Galvasul and also Abreu, but not with the same quality for this kind of materials, exposed materials. But probably something with slitting as well. We already supply some material to slitting material to Magneto, so they already know we can provide this service. But I think that their focus would be on blanking material.
Okay, I got it. So on the other hand, so hopefully Nissan's car production will increase the second semester in this from this year, and Nissan's targeting to one more SUV SOP the later of this year. So the MAG's blanking capacity will be full, tight.
Yes.
So in case of being order from the blanking order from Stellantis, so we need to think about some, the flexibility of the machine of blanking, right? Cut to length of blanking.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm trying to discuss preliminarily the feasibility study of such kind of project for targeting Jeep Avenger. As soon as.
Okay. We'll proceed with this information. We can share with you the information that we have so far. and what we are thinking of in terms of CapEx. And we already requested corporates to design something that to see if we are going to need to expand or not. We can use the current space that we have, and in order to have a proper value of how much this would cost in terms of CapEx. But we will keep you informed before we submit anything.
Okay, thank you very much. Does it make sense to Henrique?
What? Sorry?
Henrique-san, does it make sense? So if possible, I'd like to involve you, the AMG side, to discuss about the Deep Avenger project together. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so in terms of results, so this is the first topic of approval for today. On the financial statements report issued by KPMG as our independent auditor, which has already been shared with AMG side and also Mitsui side on April 15. Their position, KPMG position, was very positive without any reservations. We also held a meeting with them in the beginning of this week with AMG financial department and also Mitsui side, and in which the KPMG partners and associate managers, they shared a little bit about the process of the audit report and no negative findings in general. We closed the year of 2024 with an EBITDA of 6.6 million Brazilian reais and a PAT of 2.6 million. Also, we added the information of the financial results in the amortization requested after we sent the material, and this is also available for you in the report and also in the Minerva file that we shared also in the beginning of this year. And this is the same information. So if the board agrees, we can consider this topic already approved based on this information.
Just side. Okay. Okay for me.
Okay for me.
Okay.
I approve it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And the second topic of approval is the dividends payment. So as described in our shareholders agreement, a MAG shall distribute 50% of its adjusted net income, equally divided to shareholders Mitsui and AMG side. In 2024, the MAG net income was of 2.6 million, of which 50% would represent 1.126 million, from which we must take 130K, which is considered to be a legal reserve. And besides this, we had what we call profits to be realized, an additional amount from a judicial action that we won in 2021 regarding peaceful fees. But we recognized in results, but we did not compensate this in our result in operationally. So this amount was held by the government and it is being released every year. So we are realizing this profit year per year. We still have some amount to do it, but in the year of 2024, we added this the amount that we realized in 2024. So this increased our dividends to be paid to the shareholders in 1.7 million, equally divided to ArcelorMittal Gombarri Brazil in 899,000 and Mitsui side 899,000. This is to be paid for both of the companies until the December of 2025. So that's why it's a little bigger than the net result. It's because from the previous results from past years, from this judicial action of fiscal fees specifically, and we are recognizing it year per year as we are being able to compensate this amount on our operations. I hope it's clear, but if you have any doubts, I can try to support.
So that's just one question. So you have you already won the legal, let's say, fiscal fees issue. Already won.
Yes.
But when you won this, did in 2024 or before?
In 2021.
2021. All right. So you were just every month you divide in the payment because you don't have the, let's say, free cash flow to do that. What's the reason? Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yes, of course. So in 2021, after the decision from the SDF, they recognized that 5 million, I believe it was 5.1 million, was due to MAG because of the base do ICMS fiscal fee. So this is a very fiscal issue. And so this 5.1 million was still held, so we could not compensate this amount. And 2 years ago, we had the decision that we could start compensating this amount. So as we are now compensating yearly this amount of 5.5 million, year per year, we are everything that we are compensating, meaning that we are generating as a positive result in our operation, we are also recognizing as part of the net result to our shareholders. So we still have
this number you mentioning here is the one you could compensate into 2024.
Exactly. We still have 2 million unrealized.
All right, understood for myself.
Roberto, if you're saying something, you're on mute.
No, that's why. So thank you very much. So it's clear for me that thanks to the question from Khalil, I need to understand a little bit more some, the complicated fiscal issues. So let me check later after BoD meeting.
Okay, perfect. But I think maybe Kenji-san can explain a little bit better to you, as he was also part of this in 2022 when we made a transition from him to me. This was already spoken as well. So I know it's very complicated to understand Brazilian fiscal law, and but this is actually positive. So in any case, this is the amount that we realized to be paid to the shareholders.
You did the same in 2023. So when you distribute the dividends into, let's say, last year, in 2023, you use the same logic to put the additional value. Is that correct?
Correct. In 2023, the amount was 272,000, and 2024, 1,126,000. So this is.
So you could compensate more. As much as we invoiced more, we are selling more. You could compensate more. You have more chance to use it. That's okay. That's clear.
Okay. We still have 2 million, and I don't know if it's going to be 100% in this year, but also a very good amount probably in 2025.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Just one comment that PIS/COFINS credit is, we have PIS/COFINS credit on our stock position also, right? So there is no clear stamp that one is from this PIS/COFINS on ICMS credit, and the other is about tax credits come from our stock position, right?
Okay. Well,
so
yes.
I understand that the current 2 million is on our stock, not related to this tax credit on ICMS.
Yes, we are not speaking about our tax credit right now. We are just speaking about the realization of the profit from the action of 2021. So yes, it is a bit confusing when we are comparing to the tax credit, as we have a lot of material in stock. So probably the amounts are confusing, but they're different topics. So if you agree, we intend to realize the payment until the end of 2025. From the projections of cash flow that we have so far, we can accommodate this amount until December.
It looks correct for
me. With me.
That's fine with me.
That's fine for me.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's go to the 2025 results. So far, oh my God, so small. Let me see.
Nicole, sorry, just information about the related to tax dividend, né? As you may know, in March, the government submitted the bill. Where in this bill mentioned withholding tax on dividend paid by companies, 10%. If the bill will be approved, the 10% withholding tax will be incurred for the dividend paid by Brazilian companies. You know well?
Okay. Yes.
So, not yet approved.
Okay.
But the government require the 10% withholding tax to the company's dividend. Né? So I'd like to discuss with you, including some MG side, how to take a measurement to this the bill that may be approved by the government.
Okay.
Not
What would
today,
be the action?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so speaking a little bit of 2025, so in the first trimester, we struggled with volume, especially in the month of March. In the month of March, we had a reduction of 41% in our volumes. Is very much related to our main customers that did not, they reduced their production. Nissan and Stellantis, they practically did not produce anything after Carnival in Brazil. So this reduced a lot our volumes. And in terms of industry, we have been also still struggling a little with the program. We expect it to be a little bit more improved, but we are still going strong with the customers that we have, which is Fermat, or Gilberto already mentioned. AMD is still in this low pace. It doesn't seem to be recovering. We expect that in the second forecast, we spoke with them that they will recover these volumes from ArcelorMittal distribution. And so this dropped a lot our net sales as well. But in the month of March, we had a special action from the commercial department. I understand that there was a little bit of doubt from the shareholder side. What happened is that in the past year, in 2024, we lost part of the results due to the provision of old material on stock. We have to do that monthly as the materials go out in our stock. We have to do some provisions. And because it is understood that the old material has a lower value in the market, so that's why the provision is done. It's calculated in our results, and this is directly on our gross margin. And this happened with us last year because, as Gilberto already mentioned, the project of Nissan, the P13C project, was postponed. So all the materials that we had as tests, they were going out in our stock, and then we had these negative provisions in 2024. In 2025, as we are doing some actions in the commercial side and also industrial side, we are applying all of these old materials to current materials. So we are being able to sell these old materials with the market value. So we are recovering this result from last year. So that's why the gross profit is very positive. And we believe this is going to be still happening because we still have some old materials on stock, and we are not going to lose most of them. And we are not going to sell as scrap or secondhand materials because they're still good to be produced. Most of them, I would say more than 90%. So we will be recovering this margin with the customers and with our materials. And so this in profitability, we are doing better than we expected and what was forecasted on the budget. In terms of costs, also we are being efficient. We are accumulating 866,000 of reduction of the CRP. We are being very conservative on this for the second semester. We will see a little bit later. But for now, we are doing a lot of actions and the important actions, which is on our cost reduction plan, so it can be more efficient and recover EBITDA and also the results for the operational expenses. So this led us in the trimester with a positive EBITDA in 50% more. And this is good, and we expect this to be also a trend to the next 3 months.
Nicori, thank you very much for the explanation. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Just make sure about the reversal of slow-moving stock commercial action. So you explained the reversal of provision that was recorded in at the end of 2024. The forecasting the market price negative banking effect was expected 2025. So is it the reversal or giving the impact to the GP? No.
No,
So
this is not reversal of negative banking effect. No, this is not reversal of negative banking effect. We did not expect in 2025 to have a price decrease. We did not have. We had a whole over of prices, so we didn't see impact on our stock for these negotiations. But what happened is that in 2024, those materials that were very old, they were bought to be used on the P13C project. And then the trials and everything, they were still on stock because our customers said, no, I will take this material later when Nissan starts to produce, because they will start in February. So I will start to receive materials in December, maybe January. So we kept these materials on stock. But as they remain older, there is a provision that we must make. It's not too much, but it is mandatory. We have to do it. And we take small amounts of these materials on stock, old materials on stock, as if because the system understands that we are not going to, as they're coming old, we're not going to be able to sell them for the price that they were bought. But what we did was, besides selling them from the same price, we have been applying these old materials that were on stock with a lower value, with higher prices and higher and better conditions. So we were applying this to other customers, this is a common action. And so that's why we recovered part of this. So part of this is reversion of provision from slow moving material. And part of this is because we were able to apply this into other customers and with better negotiations.
Not clear now. The provision for a slow-moving item was recorded in the past.
Yes, it is recorded every month.
Okay, every month. And then so that we achieved the sales of higher price than the market price, the higher than the stock price. So you reversed the provision that was recorded for the slow-moving item, is it?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is some kind of the not technical reverse of the provision. So actually, you sold the stock of slow moving with a market price that is higher than the stock value, and then you reverse provision for the slow moving item. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So this will probably keep happening because we still have some materials on stock. We will see the stock report later. But this happens in the same proportion. So every month we have provisions, so that we lower the stock value, but also if we're able to sell, we increase the stock, the net sales and also the gross profit. So this is operational, and we do this every month. But what we are seeing is a high volume of material being sold, old material being sold and being applied to other customers or items.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole.
Nicole, do you have current idea of current balance of this provision?
Yes, we have. We can share with you later. I don't have this information right now, but yes, we do. We have this information already recorded in our system.
Thank you.
Nicole, can I make quick questions? Yeah, you previously in page 10, you explained about the increase of non-auto sales compared to the previous year. And in this page, in this slide, where are they reflected? Where, yeah, the increase of the non-auto sales is
Yes,
where are they incorporated?
it's in the line of industry program. And if we compare right here to the right, we are comparing 2025 to 2026. We are increasing in, this is the graphic that Gilberto was showing, the 2024 versus 2025 industry program. And we are increasing 153 tons, which is 200%. So this is what we mentioned in that slide. That was a comparison.
Yeah, but yes, I felt that there was we might could see a drastic increase from the previous year, but compared if we see that total year, that shouldn't be a big increase. So how can I? No.
Yes, you are correct. We separate industry program and spot, because program is a development from our side. So program is the action, the special action that we do with our customers when we are prospecting new customers. So this is the program customers are faithful customers. So customers that we are being able to develop as faithful customers, that monthly they take some volumes for us. So that was what he was trying to show, that we evolved from last year in this matter, and not as much as we expected, because when we compare budget versus real, we are still lower than the budget, but we are able to improve in this condition. But you are right. You're comparing last year from this year, we are still lower because the first trimester of 2024 was good. And our first trimester of 2025 is not being very good because of the stoppages that we had on March, during the month of March.
So can we expect a bit better result after from the second quarter?
A more stable second quarter, because we don't see any drop of volumes as we had in March. We are still below the budget for this month. For example, we had a budget of 6,000, also 6,400, but we are going to reach maximum of 5,000. But we are receiving some recovery from the customers, so we expect to be a little bit more stable. And also for the second semester, if Nissan is actually able to grow and to produce what they're expecting to produce, this is going to be very positive for us, because we are going to surpass the budget in terms of volume and profit, and also EBITDA with the same resources.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. So moving to the operating expenses, so we have been 17% more efficient in this first trimester. We have been doing some special actions that are already contemplated in our cost reduction program. Some of them are related to some new negotiations we had with some suppliers, huge negotiations. So this is being positive for us. We are taking care of these because there are some accounts that we are not being able to, they're already over the budget, and we are not going to recover this along the year, which is the other account, for example, because this is something that we are not forecasting. We had a fine from the government in the past month, so they're not going to recover, but we are going to compensate with the other accounts that we are being able to save. We expect that until the end of the year, we are able to save almost 1 million, being very conservative. And I am saying this, we're going to see it in the next slide of the forecast. And in this, we are going to see, I have put here in the operational expenses only 900,000 because we're being very conservative. In the budget, we had assumed that the indexes, the inflation indexes, were going to be lower. The Selic rate, the interest rate, we're also going to be lower, and this is not what we are seeing in the scenario of our country. So we are expecting some rough negotiations with the unions during the month of May. So probably the salaries, so there being accounts that we are saving a lot of money, and we are expecting that probably we'll have some, we have to negotiate higher than what we had forecasted. So that's why we are being very conservative. But if we are conservative, we're going to be able to save almost 1 million reais. In my expectation, in terms of what I can say about the business, I believe we're going to do more than that. So we are going to improve our results by reducing more costs than expected. And speaking about the volumes in the forecast, so as we already mentioned before, we are not considering 100% of the recovery that Nissan forecasted, because the information that they shared with us was later. So we are expecting in this amount only some recovery from Nissan, not in the same proportion. No recovery from the stamp, so lower volumes of in this auto products, so mainly related to the stamp. For non-auto, what we lost, we are not expecting to recover, but we are still expecting to achieve more customers and search for more customers in the year. So we are expecting to positive some more customers in the prospections that we are making. So some reduction, but would not consider a lost cause. And in volumes, we're expecting total only 5% drop. In profitability, just by these negotiations that we are doing with our customers, so we are not considering any loss. We are not expecting any loss due to some commercial actions that we are doing with Stellantis, with Nissan, with the entrance of the new project. So we are not going to be negative about this. And so we are forecasting this not losing anything in terms of forecast versus budget. And the operational costs, that we have been very conservative. So I know that this is a small loss in the EBITDA can be negative. So that's why if we are not able to improve in the volumes, we are trying to be more efficient also on the costs. But this vision is like a more stable vision. We've seen no negative or negative, but not too much negative. But if Nissan is able to fulfill their demands, we are going to surpass this number for sure. So in general, this is a comment for the forecast. We report the forecast every 3 months. So in the next board meeting in July, we'll be able to see also the forecast of 6+6. And we expect to have better vision and better numbers of the projects, and also the Nissan and GP Stellantis for the Avenger project, and also the entrance of Stellantis as our regular customer as well. Okay, so in terms of inventory, we have been able to decrease some of the over 180 days material. The stock increased a little bit in valuation because we received some imported materials. So the new project for Nissan has imported materials, and they're a little bit more expensive. So from POSCO, from Nissan, from Nippon Steel, yes. So this is a little bit higher in terms of valuation, but we are reducing stock, and we expect to reduce. So we are going to see in the next slide of the cash flow, we are reducing the stocks and we are reducing our purchasing. And so these are the operational actions that we have been doing so far.
Nicole, one question from my side in regards of Nissan and the potential movement from hire work to full service. This JIT system, we agreed with Usiminas. We will only cover that part of the supply chain. All the new supply chain with Nippon and others will not change to full service, or you are expecting also a solution for that?
No, for that we cannot do because it's imported, so we have to import in advance, and so we are not expecting any actions for that. But if we are able to fulfill the GIT, around 60% of the stock that we have, we are going to be buying when we are selling. So we expect a drastic reduction of stock for these master coils that we see in auto products. Because all the volume that is for the Nissan tiers, so everything that is going to Yorozu and part of what is going to the stump are going to be 100% on the GIT.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you. So this cash flow position is the current cash flow without the GIT. So this is considering the current scenario of purchasing and selling materials, everything that we have so far, all the information as the business it is right now. So as you know, we had a cash flow position worsened in the past due to the postponement of the P13C project from NBA. Basically, the information arrived very late for us after we had already put all of the orders to our suppliers, especially Usiminas, and as it's direct buy, we are not able to cancel the materials, so we had to purchase all of them in the beginning of the year, especially arriving in January and February, and very much related to one specific customer, which is Yorozu. So that's why we are doing a lot of actions to improve our relationship and also our stock management with this customer. Mitsui is supporting also because the team that is here does not speak Portuguese. So the management team of Yorozu Brazil is 100% Japanese. They don't speak English or Portuguese. So Mitsui is supporting with this. And we are already seeing some results. So we are already able to recover our stock position. But we have to say that this floats a lot. So we are adding some information that we have so far, but whenever a customer cancels or whenever a customer increases or does Usiminas delays or postpones, this changes our cash flow. I know that we intended to make 100% of the payment of the loan that we needed to take in March in June, but we are being a little bit more conservative and we are paying half of this. We could pay more because you see that the cash flow position is still positive in the end. We still have positive net financial debt. But in July, the position is still uncertain. So we are seeing high numbers of purchasing in July because of the volumes of Nissan that they are increasing. So they're increasing for us, they're increasing to the south, they're increasing to Europe. Everybody's nervous because they are increasing volume. So everybody wants to put more materials for us to buy. So that's why our position in July is still uncertain. So we are being a little bit more conservative and we are considering the payment only of half of the loan in June and the remaining quantity in December together with the dividends. Sorry, Cesar, you can say.
Yes, I wanted to ask if we could claim to Yorozu some financial cost for this wrong forecast.
We did not issue a claim, but we made them a request to anticipate. So instead of today, our payment terms with them are 60 days. And what we propose to them is that they pay us in 30 days and they are still evaluating this condition. But what we are doing with them is that in the end of the month, we are billing 100% of the fixed orders that they have, because also this was a problem. So, for example, they used to forecast with us that they were going to buy 1,500 tons, but in the end of the month, they only took 1,000, and we were dying with this 500 and 500 accumulating every month. So what we are doing now, if you are able to agree with them, and this is Gilberto's achievement, that we are now billing 100% of the requested material. So this is supporting us a little with our cash flow and also our monthly results. So we are producing everything that they want when we are billing 100% for them. And also we are storaging for them. If they don't take, we are charging the storage for them. So these are the actions that we have been done so far. It's not ideal. The ideal would be actually to anticipate the payment terms in 30 days. But I believe they are also in financial difficulties. And so I don't believe this is going to be possible, but these action already help us a lot. Roberto-san, would you like to say something? Concerning Yoro?
No, that's fine. Sorry. Just if you
Okay.
if you have any further questions, so please.
Okay, perfect.
So after that, I will ask questions. So.
Okay, so I am so also we are doing a project internally, which is we are calling it Yorozu Care, because we are analyzing 100% of the requests that Yorozu is making for us. So some quality demands, purchasing demands, stock demands, and we are supporting them when we are going to develop together with Yorozu team a better way to work. And in this condition, this is going to be also better for us to plan materials for them. So this is our expectation for the next future. It's a customer very hard to work with, but they are very important because they have the highest margins. They have very good volumes, productive volumes in our production line, very good to produce. So that's why we are taking care of them differently with a different approach. Okay.
Nicole, so the first point is I will always support conversation with executive of Yorozu, Brazil. So, if necessary, so or Gilberto is necessary, so I will visit the Yorozu Brazil in May and June anytime, and then discuss about the follow-up, the further improvement of the stock control and also the early payments, something like that. So please let me know if anything. Okay, the first point. The second, understood some kind of this cash flow and is a little bit conservative. It's a bit difficult to manage the stocking out based on Nissan's volume increase and also decrease of the Onyx from the GME. The discussion with Yorozu is ongoing, so I think it's understanding. So the cash flow, the plate is a little bit need to refine furthermore, but so far that we prepare some conservatively. I think I'd like to ask you the breakdown of inventory, the focus on the Yorozu.
Okay.
Tonnage of volume in stocking out. Gilberto prepared something to explain to Yorozu. I'd like to follow up such kind of monthly basis stocking out to understand his the situation, the inventory control and all the input to Ujiminis. Is it
Okay? Yes, it is. We already have this control. I even added some not complete information as you requested now, but we, as in the annex, we put just if you want to. And but it's just for general information, just to understand the situation of stock, how it is. Again, yes. So this is our main customers, Yorozu and Gestapo. Our stock is mainly with them. I don't know if you can see, this is new information, but the darkest blue is the 2025 stock of Yorozu, and you can see that in this middle blue, you can see the stock growing and from the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. So this is the effect that we felt on our cash flow for this year. This is the evaluation of stock for Yorozu. This is not an average stock that we have for them. Usually our this in yellow line is the target of stock that we must have around 2,000 tons for them, which represent 1.5 of coverage, which is safe with them. And so usually we are able to maintain within these lines. But as you can see, in the end of last year, in November, December, and January, February, and March of this year, the stock of them started to grow. So that's why the low one in March was necessary. On the other hand, when we look to Gestamp volumes and Gestamp stock, we are in the correct level. So in this year 2025, we are even below the target of 1.9. Also because they are reducing their demand, so it makes no sense for us to increase their stock. But in general, it's very clear to see the difference between one stock and the other. We will prepare a little bit this information, Kobayashi in and out, what they requested and what we already have this information. We talk about it every month, and we can share with you. So also to give you some basis for discussion with Yorozu.
I got it. Thank you very much.
And well, and just for the report of tax credit, so in the past, this was a huge issue for us. We're coming from more than 20 million accumulation of tax credit, but now these tax credit that we have, as Kenji-san well said, it's mainly because of the high stock that we have. So after we liquidate the stock, we must, this also represents for us a cash flow issue because we have to pay the taxes in advance and then we are not using the material. So this is also, so we will report this every month, and but we are in a more controlled condition. But we have to, as we are going to eliminate stock, this tax credit position is also going to reduce. And just for some general information that we report to the board in this meeting, this is not approval point, but we like to report the lawsuit status. So we only have open 4 lawsuits. We have the one in red is already closed, so it's the only one that we lost. We have 3 with remote loss. These are only labor issues. And 1 in yellow with probable loss. And this is only this one with the probable loss is what we made provisions in the beginning of the year. So we have provisions in our accounts already considering the probable loss of these labor lawsuit. For the other ones, as they are represent remote loss, they're still ongoing. And we are not considering to have any results or negative results for this year, 2025. So in general, the one in red, unfortunately, we had won 2 times, and on the 3rd time, when they recurred to the government, we received the loss, and we already paid all the resignation or indemnization for the employees. It's solved already. Okay. So just for a quick information of what the actions we...
Just one point. Those taking this example that we probably lost those cases related to labor issue. Have you implemented some countermeasure to avoid the future same problem?
In this case, this is in this case specifically, we knew that this could be a probable loss. This could be because in this specific case, we dismissed an employee that had stability from CIPA program, so accidents program. So we assumed that this could be a probable loss for us, but as we had won in the first 2 instances, the first 2 times, we were thinking that maybe in the 3rd they would not change their conviction, but they did. So there's no specific action for this case, but for the others, we have been checking all the information that we have and documentation. We are being very careful with our documentation for safety department because they are all related to safety. So insalubrity, and they did not receive correct information from safety or security. And as we have everything registered, that's why we are putting remote loss. But as we have everything ready, so and going well, for now we don't see any risk. So that's why we are not adjusting any new information. But for this specific case of loss that we lost, there was no action related, unfortunately. Just disciplinary actions in our own employees and to make sure that this doesn't happen again. This situation doesn't happen again.
Understood, and thank you for implementing those actions.
Okay, thank you. So just some general information that we have been working on. So yearly we have, so this we are conducting together with Gomvahi side. So every year we approve the environmental and health and safety program and everything, all of the actions that we are going to work on this year. So these are some actions that we are going to be working, which is the reduction of water consumption, energy efficiency. Gomvahi is very focused on being carbon neutral, and we are part of these actions. Today, when we are talking about carbon neutral at MAG, we only have the forklifts that are high for now. So we are working on actions to reduce the LPG consumption. But we are already implementing many actions of circular economy practices, especially involving wooden pallet. We are discussing with the customers to return wooden pallets and also sometimes to change to metallic pallets, controlling the usage of oil in order not to waste and to leak on the machinery. Increasing also environmental awareness. We are speaking about it in every month. We are speaking on our daily information to the plant and also to the administrative employees. And we are executing all of our CapEx safety actions. This is how we are dealing with this so far. But we are being more efficient in terms of energy efficiency. We are already purchasing energy from Nissan, which is clean energy, green energy. So we are already positive in this point, but we have to maintain it that way. And in terms of social, we are working on some, so we already had from years ago, the social action. We have been doing a very nice job with the municipal school here with them. And sometimes we have some donations from our team and also from the because we promote also the team, the people from our plant to donate to them. So clothing, chocolates for Easter, these kind of things. And we are also part of the sponsorship and when we are incentivizing some of the sports action in our plant. So we are part of the city's annual race and Nissan Industrial Park. So they run all over our park here. I don't know if everybody knows, but it's very green. And we have all the flags and we are part of this sponsorship with them. We are also running with them. So these are some of the actions. We are improving this so far. We have a charity committee and then we are implementing some actions together. And we hope that together with our team and also the efforts that we have been doing with the city hall, we are able to improve the community that surrounds us. This wasn't one of the topics as we have new board members and also we had not go over this in the past. So this is the approval agenda that is demanded on our shareholders agreement. So on our shareholders agreement, there are some approval topics that we have to do on ordinary meetings, which are these that we are doing now. We usually have 3 meetings, which is in April, July, and December. And the agenda, the mandatory agenda for approval of these meetings in general are in April, we approve the accounts, annual accounts of the audited financial statements from the previous year and dividend payments for the year. We used to do the dividends in December, but makes no sense because we have the information validated and audited in April. So makes sense for us to approve in April. So that's why we are approving today both of these topics. In July, we had no mandatory approval agenda. We only do the report of the forecast, the report of the status of the project, the status of the plant. And in December, we have to approve the business plan or annual budget, and usually involves the topics of sales volume, operational expenses, headcount, profit and P&L, CapEx, and the Forex exposure. And we report also the customer credit line. In the past, as we were ensuring our customers' credit line, we used to approve this also on the board. But now 100% of our customers are insured by the external company, with SESI or Euler company. And we are doing this process together with AMG. And so this is much safer for us. So there is no need to take any internal risk. All of the risk is being taken directly by our insurance company, and the fee is okay. And we are also being able to negotiate, to input some of these fees in our price to the customer. So we are not seeing risks of extra costs. And there are some topics that doesn't have a defined agenda. They can be included in any of the agendas that we are seeing. So maybe in April or July or December, in case there are, which are amendments of the company's bylaws. So as this year we have the renovation of the shareholders agreement, and the bylaws probably will have some change or some, then we can discuss this also on the board of directors. Or any amendment of CAPEX in case we need to increase or add a new CAPEX that was not forecasted. We can also do this in the agendas. Contracts or obligations over 1 million reais. So today we don't have this because we used to have it in the past. Some contracts with some suppliers that were over 1 million, but we were able to decrease it. So we are not surpassing these negotiations with our suppliers, not coil suppliers, okay, indirect suppliers, like cleaning or transportation or this kind of suppliers. And other matters that are agreed by the shareholders that can be also spoken on these agendas. And the selection and dismissal of the company's independent auditors, it's usually done in every 3 years, but only in case necessary. So this is the 3rd year that we are conducting the audit with KPMG. But in conversation with AMG, they are not, they do not intend to change for this year. So they want to keep for 2 extra years KPMG, because the changing of the independent auditors is very complicated and takes a lot of work for them. And so for us, it's going to be better if we're not changing anything right now for the last 2 years, for the next 2 years. And they're doing a very good job. So now we are intent to remain. But this is just a guideline for the agenda of approvals expected for the year, okay? This is going to, if we don't have any adjustment on the bylaws, we are going to move this with the other years as well.
Can I ask a question, Nicole? Firstly, bank loan agreement renewal. I think that this is board or shareholder approval.
Okay, we can, yes. We are, as this is a renovation yearly, we are doing this by email directly to you, already sending. This year, as we are reducing the amount, we are going to send this by email to you. And we are not, we did not bring this on the board, but if you think it's necessary, we can change it and we can speak it on the board.
Yes, please. So even if renewal of agreement, so please, this bank loan is a very important matter for MAGI operation management.
Okay.
So please add
Okay.
agenda.
Okay.
Secondly, not the approval item, but in the board, I think it's better to discuss in the report, focusing on more internal control, not only forex exposure, and also cybersecurity, and also the internal approval process of the purchase and the sales contract. Now Gilberto and me following up, so the items as a result of internal audit by Mitsui. I think it's these items are important as well for MAGI's the better, excellent operation and the management. So if necessary, let's add some items in board agenda, not necessarily board approval. Please consider.
Okay. We can discuss this. I will understand a little bit better with Gilberto the sales approvals. And then we can discuss later and how to include this.
Yeah, for example, cybersecurity questionnaire by Mitsui. The MAGI was certified for silver class, if my memory is correct, Deborah Gilberto. It means so maybe 97.100% the full score.
Yeah.
It was good. So
Okay.
effective. But cybersecurity incident is happened in many cases in Mitsui as well. So I think it's important internally of MAGI to reinforce the attention to cybersecurity, right?
Okay.
So that is kind of how I would like to ask you to include some idea of measurement of how to say high antenna of the cybersecurity internally, all of employees in MAGI. Okay. And also internal control. So follow up with Mitsui's internal audit. The Mitsui internal audit verified details process of the purchase and sales contract approval process. As a result, we will close a follow up with internal audit team, but their comment was the still need improve second control function internal approval process. So I think it's better to continue discuss not only MAG officers, the board member levels, and then it's better to follow up in board meeting how improve such kind of process.
Okay.
Just for example.
Okay, we can discuss this and how to include in the meeting.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is just a general information that our purpose and values remain the same from last year. So providing solutions that contribute to a better and healthier future. And our values being safety, continuous improvement, excellence, ethics, and sustainability. So all of the actions and that we do so far and all of our presentations, and when we speak about safety, about our KPIs, about our customers and being how we're sustainable, it's related to our values. Okay.
Nico, just one question. So in Mitsui, there is some MVV months twice per year. So everyone MVV month. So
Okay.
we will sit down
MVV.
and then discuss about MVV or integrity, the
Okay.
philosophy of Mitsui. Such kind of activity sometimes is very effective to remind the on the same page together, same board together. Philosophy, DNA, culture. So such kind of activity program will be considered for you or no?
Yes, of course. We already do something like this. So every 3 months we have a meeting with all of the employees and we speak about safety. We speak in all of them, and then we always pick some of the values and some of what we have the cultural agents. So each value has a cultural agent, maybe one, maybe more, and they speak also for their value and the actions that they are doing so far. So we do kind of this, but we are open to receive some suggestions if you have from Mitsui side. I think Gilberto can also bring some ideas, and then we can improve this for us.
Okay, so let me discuss with HR and also legal team in Mitsui São Paulo, and then let me consider some short program about
Okay.
MVV months.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
one question, sorry. One question about the purpose. So what was this purpose newly created, or when was it created?
It was during the year of 2023. We did a special action together with AMG, and we did this together with the employees. It was a very interesting process that we had. And it took us during the year 2022, 2023, we were developing and we implemented in the end of 2023, and 2024, we are already using it. So it's
Okay,
new.
yeah.
It's new. This is a new process.
I think the purpose is good, but the values No, I feel it's a rather how can I say, very general concept. So yeah, as Kobayashi mentioned, so it's very good initiative to discuss internally what the safety means in MAG, or what's the excellence, what is excellence in MAG. So such frank discussion and communication is very useful in MAG. So yeah, please communicate with Mitsui Sampao as well.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for your support. These are general. We put it in a general way here, but this is much more specified with. But it's in Portuguese, and we have what we call a book of culture, and there are a lot of information that we are going over with our employees. But I think any help or any suggestion or improvement is welcome, and we can also use it in our plant. Thank you very much for your assistance.
Also, I would like to add that we have, for example, like a community of agents that they make videos, and we have a YouTube channel that they speak about each of these values monthly, or I don't know.
Yes, monthly, yes.
And all employees receive these videos, comments, and
Yes.
and yes, we are expanding this culture here around the group, AMG group and Mac.
Yeah, good. So such kind of activity, please report in board. So or in implementation in internal the body. So culture excellence. So that's a good idea, I think. And also, as Zesan said, I will support Sawaya team support fully if necessary.
Okay.
Issue.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time, for everyone. If you have no.
Okay, so can I one quick questions about slide 25? So I heard you explained that you buy clean energy or clean electricity from Nissan.
Yes.
So what kind of electricity? So it's a hydro or solar?
No, it's como é que fala hidrelétrica? Hydro.
Hydro.
Yes.
Hydro.
Yes.
I see.
Hydro,
So
yes.
so is there any request from OEM to MAG to use clean energy, or it is a mandatory initiative, or voluntary initiative? You do it voluntarily.
From our customers, not directly. We have not received anything. We the instructions, and it is being mandatory from the group. So we are doing it internally in our group. There are instructions, but our customers, they are not demanding.
Okay. Yes. So I just feel that yes, the initiative for decarbonization is getting behind the previous years. So I wonder if I wonder how you are doing in Brazil. So yeah, I'd like to have a frank communication with you about how decarbonization is progressing, especially after Trump.
Very slow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, very slow. I see the government is doing some actions, but they don't seem to reflect in our operations and also in our customers so far. What we are seeing is just a corporate pressure, and we are following their lead on this. And because if we are waiting for Brazil or our government, I don't think it's going to be fast. I think it's going to take longer.
Okay.
Also, I saw that there were some questions concerning ArcelorMittal initiatives. And I think they're being very advanced. I think it's the only mill that is advanced on the scope 3 for us. And I think this is our current purchases are more for Usiminas. They don't have many clear actions, but that's why we are trying to shift and to bring more material from ArcelorMittal to our plant, because we know that all of the actions that they are doing are more related to a green future. So green steel is still very far from achievement, but the actions so far are being much more positive from ArcelorMittal side than from any other mills in Brazil or in the world. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Nicole, Just to complement
Okay.
those ideas that those sustainability program takes a much time to be implemented, and usually when our banks are making credit line renewal, always they request us to report those ESG issues. So it's very important to continually implementing those issues.
Yes, of course. Okay, thank you for your observation. Makes sense.
Just for information, Suzuki and Nicole. So now we see other departments discussing with Nissan Brazil about the energy decarbonization. So our Ecogen proposed
Okay.
so PV, solar electricity generation, because according to Nissan, electricity with hydro is expensive. And
Yes.
also, one of the decarbonization solution, the Ecogen is proposing change of boiler from just only natural gas to biogas, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So if
This would be interesting to involve us. It's ready already
sure.
for us to understand.
Yeah, I have already shared with Vinicius and Gilberto such kind of news. Now, you Yamaguchi Gestamp is introduce other department to Nissan Brazil, but that kind of activity is related to directly to with Maggie, because Maggie is using electricity Nissan Park, right?
Yes.
So let's involve together and then discuss decarbonization initiative.
Perfect. Okay.
Thanks.
Any other comment or concerning? Okay.
No, from my side.
I'm
Thank you
Okay,
very
so-
much.
Thank you very much for your time and for being here and for the efforts of this meeting. And as soon as we have the schedule for the next meeting, we will share with you in advance. But it's going to be in the end of July. Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
See you.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Much.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Take care.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Ricardo Becker.